Welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 4.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
All right, automotive enthusiasts, I am very excited to introduce my very special guest today, Kenji Yoshino. Kenji-san, are you buckled up and ready for a fun ride?
Oh, yeah.
All right. It's great to have you here. Kenji is a native Japanese, and at the age of 19, he walked into a Citroen dealership with about $2,000 in his pocket and asked what might be available in his price range. And in the far back corner of that lot was an old red CX Citroen, and it was love at first sight for Kenji. In 2002, he and his wife, Marion, acquired FPS, French Parts Service, a company that was founded in 1986 by Ben Morris. And today, after 28 years, FPS continues to provide Citroen collectors with a complete inventory of parts for the 2CV via their website at fpswest.com. So Kenji, I've told our listeners a little bit about you, so take a moment and share a little more about you, about your business, and your interests and your passion for automobiles.
Okay. Well, I can start from my Citroen history. Like you already read my little brief, age 19, I have a couple $1,000 in pocket. And then I went to dealership, but I don't want to drive any car that I can see around me. So if you stop, let's say if you stop in the red light, I don't want to see same car right in front of me or right next to you or behind me. So I need very special car.
You wanted something very unique.
Very unique, absolutely. And I went to Toyota dealer, nah. Volkswagen dealer, nah. So I went to European car dealer. It's a used car dealership. And then he said, what about BMW? Yeah, it's okay. But I need some more different, unique kind of, outlook. What about Alfa Romeo? Oh, that's pretty cool. It's getting there. Well, I need something really, really different. Okay, then he brought me to his backyard. The piles of junk cars and the Citroen, the big red, kind of like 60s, 70s looking Starship.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was a bit, Citroen CX. So I would just fell in love with it. And then here I am. I'm just driving Citroen since then. And now I'm setting a pass for Citroen. Yeah, so that is an amazing thing for me.
So you figured out a way, you found your passion in Citroen cars,
Yep.
and you figured out a way to create a lifestyle around selling parts to other enthusiasts. So that's exactly what Cars Yeah is all about.
Yes.
Inspiring automotive enthusiasts, which you are one of those.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. We like to start the show with a inspirational quote. What we're going to do is, before we drive into your journey, is start with a success quote, a mantra, or even a person perhaps that was instrumental in forming a passion for your cars. This is a great way to get the inspirational tires turning here at Cars Yeah. So Kenji, take the wheel.
My success quote is, here we go. I'm driving 2CV, Citroen 2CV. 2CV is not just a car. It is way of life.
Ah, okay. So your passion for Citroen is definitely a way of life.
Exactly.
We could say that your success quote or your mantra is driving what you love is a way of life.
Yes.
Right. And you've taken that many steps further because your whole life is Citroen. Everything around it is Citroen.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's great. I like that. So how do you incorporate, and this is a silly question now that I think about it, how do you incorporate this into your life, your passion for cars, and your business? We'd love to hear about your journey and share a little bit more about selling Citroen parts to your customers.
Okay. Well, I started the Citroen hobby in Japan. 1997. And then I met my wife who was teaching English. She's American. And then she was teaching English and met somehow. Then we married. Then we decided to come over here in Seattle. Then at that time, I thought, my Citroen hobby is done. It's gone. Because I knew that the Citroen dealer is not here anymore. 1975, U.S. Citroen dealer was just turned down, out of business, went back to France. So there's no Citroen dealer. That means I have my Citroen hobby is over. However, I found old Citroen still around here. So well, that's great thing. So I just looking, and finally found the one DS they call Citroen DS, the big hydraulic suspension 4-door cars. And then I started driving it, and then buying parts from this company the guy who used to own this parts dealership, the FPS.
Was that Ben?
Ben Morse, yes.
Okay.
So I was one of his customers. And then somehow we became a really good friend. We invite him our house, he invite us his house. And then we kind of, have a close relationship. The one day, hey, Kenji and Mary, would you like to buy a parts with us? That's I was really surprised. But at that time, I was, different main job. I don't have time probably. Maybe you can just start buying some parts for stock, and then own part of FPS ownership. And then by the time passed by a couple of years, I was laid off, and then finally, I can probably jump in a full-time job for FPS. Then here I am. I'm just start selling parts.
Well, so many times people in their life, when they know there's something they might want to do and there's a path they want to go down, but they need that kind of nudge or that push. And lots of times it's, a job loss or a job change or a career change or a family change or something. So it sounds like with you got that nudge that you needed to go full-hearted and start your own business and take over the other half of the side of the business and start selling parts. And that was some time ago. You've been doing that ever since.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's tremendous. Can you share with us, was there one point in your life where you knew you were a diehard car guy? That pivotal moment when either somebody or something struck you and you went, you know what, I really love cars.
Yeah. I think that was already kind of developed in Japan way before I came over here. The Citroen CX that I bought, the first car in my life, that was a tough car. That was, a tough car to work with. Age 19, 20, have no mechanical background at all. And then not even the shop repair manuals available. So I got some French text shop manual from somewhere. I don't remember where from, but I thought, oh, good, at least I got the repair manual. But I came in by mail. There was French text.
Oh
my God, what do you do with this?
Chocolat bleu.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my God. So what should I do? And then leave there for 2 weeks. The car stuck with somewhere. I couldn't move anything. Okay, well, I can just talk with it. So I just get the French-Japanese dictionary and the big thick of repair manual, looking. And then
my gosh, you were translating
exactly.
French to Japanese from a manual trying to fix this French car in Japan with no parts access. Oh my goodness, yes. You're a brave man.
That was a really tough time. However, time goes by, a month or two, I kind of understand what each word is. So, my repair manual is completed, red mark everywhere and my handwriting everywhere. And sooner or later, I just got the idea how to work this car. Mm-hmm. So that time, this is it. So nobody distract me at all. I can drive this French car forever.
Yeah. Well, were you, when you were small, younger than that? Because that was 19 when you got that car. Was there a point before that time that you really fell in love with cars? Or was that really the pivotal moment when you saw that Citroen?
Yes. The cars always, popular thing for boys in Japan, of course. Younger age and, teenager. But before that, I don't really into car in my life into it because I was doing some, my passion is sports. I'm just doing sports every day. So it's not always just focus on car. But age 19, I bought this car because of this car. Yes, my my interest is completely changed, 180 degrees.
So you got the Citroen bug, it bit you hard, and you've never looked back.
Right.
Great. This next part, we like to kind of get under the hood, Kenji, and take a journey back down roads that maybe were a challenge for you, really kind of get your hands dirty, and talk about a huge challenge that you faced in your past. Could be a personal challenge or a business challenge, but the listeners like to hear about that, about failures like that or challenges, and what you did to really push past that point and how you overcame that situation.
Okay, well, having small business, auto-related, part-related businesses, it's challenging every day, of course. But the biggest challenging moment came 2007. After a few years later, I took over this business. I'm doing this business out of my house. Because of the cost and everything, I have to kind of get low-flying, budgeted business out of my, small business. So my house is floor parts basement, and then garage also my laboratory, testing new parts and stuff, everything.
Your laboratory, okay.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Once, whenever you get the new parts, I have to kind of test. Mm-hmm. So I tested one of backup light for Citroen 2CV, and then unfortunately, I have to weld it because the rear bumper doesn't receive the bolts, securing bolts. Mm-hmm. So I was doing some welding. Then somehow the welder didn't work very well, and then cut the fume of a gas tank, and then our house and the garage caught fire.
Oh my gosh!
So the frame just reached to the gas tank, and of course big explosion. And then nothing I could do, but I feel like I have to do something. Then I got struggling, fire extinguisher, put the water, but it didn't work out. Then we lost garage and also our house.
Oh my gosh, was your family in the house at the time?
Luckily nobody got hurt. So my neighbor just called 911 right away, and then the fire truck came, and then for an hour later. The fire was settled. Everything's fine, but smoke damage, water damage, that's good enough to destroy most of everything.
So you not only lost your business and all your inventory, but you lost your home at the same time.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh, that must have been devastating.
Yes,
and
that was really devastating.
And I suspect, did you lose the cars, your dream cars that you had?
Yes, one nice Citroen DS. I just finished restoration.
Oh no!
Then I had 3 cars. It's cost a lot, so I decided to take insurance out of Citroen DS that we just finished the restoration because I know we're not gonna drive for a while. So the car was of course gone.
Oh.
2 other small Citroen 2CV is gone. Yes, I lost
everything, virtually everything. And oh my gosh, that's a great segue into how did you overcome that? Because so many people would just go, I'm done. I'm just going to go get a job somewhere else and rebuild my house. And what did you have to pull up from within to get over that? How did you do that? Who helped you with that?
Yes. I was very depressed, of course, and what to do is this, and the parts are gone. Well, actually, you know what? Most of the parts inventory was saved because the storage room in the basement is the opposite side of the garage. Mm-hmm. So nicely saved, and then a few parts of damage, but I would say 80% of the parts are okay. Wow.
Oh, so they were down kind of underground. The fire burns up.
Exactly.
So while it took out your garage, your prized cars, and your home, some of the parts were saved. So there was a little bit of to be salvaged there.
And then the good thing about is my Citroen club member just came next day morning with a U-Haul truck. They moved whole entire inventory parts somewhere safe.
Oh, what a nice thing for them to do.
It is really key fact saver, because the firefighter said, okay, so what happened to your inventory? Well, my friends came and took everything out. That's a great thing. Why is that? The carbon, that kills metals, parts, the oil, deteriorate whole entire rubber parts, plastic parts. So you got to move as soon as possible.
Oh, good. Well, that was fortuitous that you did that quickly, and you were so fortunate to have those friends to come and help.
Yeah, they came and moved within 8 hours, maybe 9 hours at the most.
Oh my goodness! Well, I understand too. You were injured. You got burned fairly badly.
I got injured. I got third-degree burn, so I had to go to a Harborview burn clinic, and then I was hospitalized for maybe 3-4 days.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Well, what's a good lesson for car collectors out of that? Have lots of large fire extinguishers around?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So I have a big fire extinguisher in the garage right now. We built. But anyway, after that, so we have to, good. So 80% of parts are still, saved. We can still keep going. We moved to a temporary location, and then let's move on, and then announce, hey, Kenji Yoshino, FPS, Kenji and Marion still here to take order and ship out right away. And then people remember those. It's so amazing that the club member just spread the word all over North America to Citroen owners. They are really helped me. Okay, well, let's get together. I don't know you. However, I feel like, we're kind of same family, and then I want you to keep going your business, and then I want to order it. And then at that time, I got many, many, many new customers.
Well, that's a great lesson, that having a strong network of friends and customers is so valuable for anybody in business, because when you run into trouble, they can rally and help you out and come to your rescue. And we know that car groups and car clubs are so loyal to each other. Car people love car people, and they help. So that's a really great story, that they came to your rescue and helped you out. And in essence, you kind of rose out of the ashes like a phoenix and came back and survived, when I'm sure that day and those weeks afterwards, you probably just were devastated and wondered how were we going to come back.
That's right. And
wow.
The club member just came to my house and took a couple pictures and posted the club website. Mm-hmm. So that story was just a spread with no time. So I got finally overnight famous. That's
a tough way to get famous. Let's not do that again, okay? Let's find a better social networking way to become famous. So, Kenji, let's shift gears a little bit and go share a story when you had what I like to call an aha moment in your business, where you realized, wow, this is something viable. I could actually make a living at this. And how did that happen? Was there a specific time or moment that happened?
Yes, about a couple, maybe 6 months later after the fire, and then we kind of start getting all those operations back to normal, and then helping a couple people that Citroen really want to move. Try back on the street, and then those customers really trying to repair it, but somehow couldn't repair it. I called around our network, who's the best mechanic and stuff, and then giving all those informations, and finally those two cars are repaired, and then the owner is just happily driving this car. So at that time, wow. This is so powerful. The connection somehow I'm going to have with customer and me, and then I give it to other network. Those people are helping each other, and then saved a couple dead 2CVs. So this is, wow, I got it. So, yeah, at that time, yes, definitely I get confidence to keep growing this business.
So it really came down to the network of people, the people that love these cars, that are excited about these cars. They really wanted to help you, and you realized that, and that you could come back and that you can make a living at this and carry forward, and everything was going to be okay eventually. So it's a real testament to the car culture
Yes.
And that the car culture, people out there stick together, they help each other, and the importance of having those networks and those car clubs and organizations, because they really do come forward and help you out. I know, Kenji, we talked about your first car, and probably the interview at this point, I'd like to ask about your first car, what it was. We already talked about that. I assume the Citroen was your first car when you were 19. Is that right? Okay. Maybe aside from that amazing story you shared with us of getting the French manual and having to translate it to Japanese, are there any other good stories, great stories you can share with us about that car, or maybe even some other Citroens? Because I've seen some of the Citroens you've had. They're really unique cars, and if the listeners have never been in a Citroen, go find a friend like Kenji and ask for a ride, because when you get in that car, it's like driving in a cloud is the best way I can describe it. It's so cushy and soft, and it's just amazing. But maybe you could share a couple fun stories you've had with Citroens in the past.
Let's see, not the first car, but the second car I got is in US. The second Citroen I bought in US. They call Citroen DS. DS is right now it's alphabet D and S.
Yes.
However, in the French, DS means goddess.
Oh, okay.
Just look like glamorous, kind of like a sexy body style, the huge, beautiful lady to me. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I was driving this car, learning, how to work in the car. It's not a perfectly good condition, and then tire has always slow leak. I have to use up spare tire. Okay, I don't have any spare tire after this. Sure enough, I got another flat tire.
Oh no.
So what to do? But I always know the story. DS can drive with 3 wheels.
No way. A
Yes.
DS can drive on 3 wheels?
3 wheel, yes. Because the front tread tire is really wide. Then rear tires tread is so small. Just like it's almost 3 wheel anyway. Mm-hmm. So you can just discard 1 wheel on the rear. So okay, I can try that. And then I just moved the front tire was front. So I moved the rear good tire to the front. So 2 nice tires in front, and then 1 flat tire in the rear. Let's see how it goes. Yes, I could drive, no problem.
Now that is a story that I'll bet so many people do not know, that you can drive a Citroen DS on 3 tires and keep one flat. That's amazing. That's a really funny story. Yeah. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Well, don't do that again, okay?
I don't want to do that again.
No.
But, emergency situation, yes. Yes, definitely you can do this.
It'll work. Like a 747 can fly on 3 engines. So, and according to my neighbor, it can actually fly on 1, but let's not try that, okay? Seller's remorse, Kenji. Is there a car that you've had in the past that you sold and you really wish that you still had it?
Well, let's see. Not really, actually. I'm always looking for next car.
Okay.
Yes, if you think about, I wish I have that car, but it's not really completely killing me at all. Because car, my passion is just driving, stay around this Citroen car, but there's so many unique, beautiful cars in the world. So even I sold 1 car, couple cars, and then probably next car will be even, more exciting.
Sure. So always looking forward. You remind me of that quote that Dr. Ferdinand Porsche answered how he answered the question was, what's your favorite Porsche? And he always said the next one.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So, yeah, similar answer. So, well, that's good. Always looking for something new and different. So it's nice to not have to look in the rearview mirror, always looking out the front of the car.
Yes.
And never worry about looking back. Oh, that's great. Are there any current projects you're working on right now, things within your business perhaps that really have you excited and fired up?
Yes. Well, this is a really big time for my Citroen business. Every Father's Weekend, the Citroen group in North America get together in one location, which is Saratoga Springs, New York. It's upstate New York, probably 3-4 hours drive from New York City up in the north. Famous place for horse races. We get together in Saratoga Springs and showing off your own Citroen. So this is a big Citroen meet. So I'm usually go there for last 10 years or so and set up the tent, booth, setting up parts, and then a big moment is, hey, nice to see you. I know the phone. I know your voice on the phone, but finally we meet each other.
Oh, you get to meet your customers on the East Coast that you have never seen. Now, you said, does this happen during Father's Day weekend?
Father's Day, yes, Father's Day weekend. Every
great. Okay, and
it could be a nice Father's Day, time for me too.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Do you ever take your family with you, or is it usually just you?
Yes, my wife Marion is my partner. She is always helping me for setting up a booth and stuff. And
great.
People knows Marion too, so that's great time.
Right. Oh, good. So Saratoga Springs, did you say?
Saratoga Springs, New York.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, and that's will be around Father's Day. So this podcast will come out before then. So anybody want to get up there?
Great.
If anybody wants to go up there and see a wonderful collection of Citroens, that would be a really fun adventure to do.
Yes, if you have a chance, please come to a Citroen meet in Saratoga Springs.
Okay. Great.
Father's Day weekend.
All right. Well, we'll do that. Kenji, what's your favorite way to spend time with cars? Do you like wrenching on them, detailing them, restoring them, driving them? Do you have a favorite way to hang out with your cars?
Well, I'm always kind of lazy side. Not usually just working in the car and maintenance all the time and stuff. The Citroens to me right now are so easy to work with, and then I can always fix. I can always wait something happens. So, yes, at the same, but again, regular maintenance is important. When I have a couple of different cars, that means I have some project always there. That is my favorite. Go to the garage, working on just a few cars at a time. Mm-hmm. Just leave it. If I feel like I'm tired, just leave it and come back to work and go back to garage.
So playing with your cars in the garage, working on them, restoring them, fixing them up, things like that. Mm-hmm. That's what you love to do.
Yeah.
Great. That sounds like fun. Kenji, this is one of my favorite parts of our discussion, and we're coming up on what I call the last lap. And this is where I fire off a series of questions, and I'm going to ask you to give me some quick blips of the throttle answers. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. What is the best automotive advice you've ever received?
That's a tough question. Well, whatever you have the car, you gotta know the detail. Each parts, each single rivets, each single nuts and bolts. That's important for you to know about this car.
So know everything about your vehicle.
All right.
Okay. Can you share one of your personal habits that you believe contributes to your success?
Connection.
Staying connected with people?
Staying connected with people. That's what it is. And that's a help. That's the connection helped me when I was in a tough time. And then now I'm helping my customer for connection, giving connection network more than just selling parts.
Mm-hmm. Communication. Great. That's super. Do you have a resource that you'd like to share with our listeners? Maybe it's a website that you go to a lot, suppliers, restoration shops, or specific people?
Yes, I do. There's several Citroen restoration place. Should I give you the...
Yeah, go ahead and let us know what those are.
One of the gentlemen, actually, they're a couple, German couple, who live in just 10 miles from my house. He does restoration business. I do parts. He does cars. Kind of relationship we have. Mm-hmm. So his website is www.2CVSource, just like a Toys R Us.
Okay.
2CVSource.
2CVSource. Okay. Well, and we'll make sure we post that on the show notes page so people can find that resource. Now, that's interesting. A German couple selling French parts 10 miles away from a Japanese couple selling French parts. How?
Yes, he's selling cars. I do parts.
Okay. Cars and parts. Okay. Well, that's pretty coincidental that you guys live so close together. Yet you're from the other sides of the world.
Right.
So that's great. Kenji, is there a book that you would like to share with our listeners that you really enjoy?
Yeah, if you are interested in this Citroen 2CV, yeah, I'm right here. The book author name is John Reynolds. I think a British author wrote a Citroen 2CV. The title is just about car. I mean, Citroen 2CV.
Citroen 2CV by John Reynolds.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that our readers can find that at probably Amazon or
Amazon.com.
or automotive book suppliers.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, great. Well, those are great, Kenji. Now we're coming up on the end of our interview, what I like to call the checkered flag. And this question is always a little challenging for some people, maybe not for you. To quote a great automotive mark, it's a real doozy. If you could have only one collector car in your garage, something that you couldn't sell to buy other cars with, what would it be and why?
One model, right? Just model.
One car, that's all you get. One model, one car, and you've got to keep it forever.
Okay.
And you, but what would that car be?
I don't have it right now, but I want to keep 1968 Citroen Diane 6.
Okay, that's probably that's probably one of the most unique answers that we're going to hear on the show. So tell me why you love that car.
Yes. Well, Citroen is big passion, and then 2CV is one of the model with the Citroen. But 2CV is such a, like I said earlier of this show, the 2CV is not just a car, way of life. Really grabbed my heart, and then just to fall in love with it, because 2CV is just only 2-cylinder air-cooled engine, 600cc motor. There's nothing there. If you open the engine hood, that's it. Yes, that's it. No air, the air conditioning, no supercharger, either turbocharger at all. It doesn't go fast. No, and it just just like a normal engine. However, Citroen Diane is family of 2CV. It's the same platform. It's different body style. Mm-hmm. Citroen Diane was very fast 2CV family in my collection. I lost at fire. Right. However, there was, they taught me how to work in the 2CV and how to drive 2CV and how to have a, wonderful, laid back, slow down kind of lifestyle. Great. So good. That is probably my most favorite car. Okay. Well, that's great. Well, Kenji, you've taken us on a great ride today, and I've really enjoyed your stories. Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. Here we go. For sharing your journey with us today. Please give us perhaps one parting piece of guidance before you drive off into the sunset, and also let our listeners know what's the best way they can get a hold of you and learn about your business. Yes. I have my own website for my business. Please log in to www.2CVSource.com. 2CVSource.com. And we'll make sure we post that on our show notes page for our listeners so they can find it at carsyeah.com. And any parting piece of advice for our listeners? Well, drive car you love important. And then also, again, always go back to, connection. Connection is important. The behind the car, people behind the car. It's so interesting. There's so many story behind, and then why this guy is like this car. So yes, look like a car. Performance and looks and everything's fine. But I want to know what kind of owner is driving this car. So your parting wisdom would be get to know the people driving the cars. Right. Yes. That's important. Absolutely. That's a great lesson. Well, Kenji, I want to thank you for being so generous with your time, your expertise, and sharing your experiences with our listeners. And until we talk again, I hope you keep this shiny side up, and we'll see you down the road. Thanks. Thank you very much, Mark. Sayonara. Sayonara.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.